The Earth as a habitat. When we look at the solar system, we have 8 planets and the Sun. But planet Earth is the only planet that has life on it. And therefore, we say that planet Earth is actually a very big habitat. Let us learn more about the Earth as a habitat. There are 8 planets in the solar system. Of these, Earth is the best known habitat for living things. It has a layer of air surrounding it called the atmosphere. It has water, therefore it is called the blue planet. Made up of oceans and seas, which is the salt water, lakes and rivers, which is the fresh water. It has rocks and soil, which are large land masses called continents and small land masses called islands. There's our Earth. There's Africa. The white clouds that you see are part of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is made up of air, and then you see the blue parts is all the water, and the green and brown parts are the land. So we have our continents and our islands. Then let's talk about the regions. We have something called the Equatorial Regions. The Equatorial Regions is actually the middle of the Earth. The middle of the Earth is called the Equatorial Region. The sun shines strongly there, so it is hot all year round. The Equatorial Regions, hot all year round. Then let's talk about the Polar Regions. At the top and the bottom of the Earth, it looks white. These are called the polar regions of the Earth. The sun does not heat the polar regions as strongly as the middle. It is cold in the polar regions, and there is a thick layer of ice covering the land and the sea. See? That is the land that's covered with ice and the sea. The polar regions, there's a polar bear there. Let us talk about habitats. What is a habitat? A habitat is where living things are found. Let us look at the earth as one big habitat for living things. A habitat meets all the environmental conditions that a living thing needs to survive. For an animal, that means to have enough air to breathe, find food and water, select a mate, successfully reproduce, and have protection from the rain and sun. For a plant, a good habitat must provide the right combination of light, air, water, and soil. There are different habitats found on Earth. Look at the different habitats. See the different type of animals in these habitats. Forest habitat, river habitat, sea habitat, polar habitat. And these are all the different type of habitats that you find on Earth and the different plants and animals that live in these habitats. So there's a desert habitat, it's a very warm place. The air is very hot and dry. There is very little rain. The soil is very sandy. Most animals that live in the desert sleep during the day because it is too hot. They come out at night to eat. They are called nocturnal animals. Some desert animals burrow in the ground during the day. Some plants have thick leaves in the desert to retain water. Most desert animals get their water from the food that they eat. Let us look at the polar region habitats. In the Arctic, plants have to be very sturdy. There are grasses, moss, lichens, and flowers. There's a forest habitat. It's an environment that gets enough rain and warm temperatures for lots of trees to grow. When the fall arrives, so that's autumn, the leaves will turn red, orange, and yellow. And once winter comes, the trees lose their leaves, so they are deciduous trees mostly. Let's talk about the savanna. Savanna is more like the weather we have here in South Africa. These are animals that you will find in the savanna: chimpanzees, warthogs, meerkats, African wild dog, African elephant, African lion, the zebra, common eland, the white rhinoceros, and not forgetting the giraffe. Then other animals in the polar region, you get walruses, snow rabbits, Arctic foxes, elk, all coyotes, deer, finches. And then freshwater habitats, ponds, lakes, streams, and rivers. You find frogs, ducks, beavers, turtles, dragonflies, and many kinds of fish in freshwater habitats. Wetland habitats. Wetlands are transition zones between land and water. They are characterized by the hydrology, plants, and the soil. Wetlands improve water quality, prevent floods, control erosion, and are used for recreation. Wetlands provide food, cover, nursery areas for many types of fish and wildlife. They also provide essential habitats for many rare species such as the whooping crane. Ocean habitats. In oceans you will find sharks, jellyfish, octopus, starfish, sea anemones, seagrass, and algae. Springs habitat. Springs bubble up from the ground. Springs-fed rivers often support unique communities of plants and animals. Of the 281 major historical springs identified in Texas in 1981, more than 65 no longer flow. That is because we do not look after them. Let us talk about plants found in the savanna. Some of them are the baobab, the jara tree, whistling thorn, and the candelabra tree. So, different habitats have different types of plants and animals. And we realize that the earth is actually home to all these habitats, starting from the polar regions, going right to the center of the earth, the equatorial regions, and going towards the bottom of the earth, back again to the polar regions.